Hey, what is up, disc golfers? Today on Iceberg TV, we have some updates with the Natalie Ryan situation. I have kind of a sequence of events pulled up going all the way back to before the OTB Open, all the way up to now. And Natalie Ryan was originally able to play in the first round of the OTB Open and then was removed. And then this was the knee-jerk reaction that Natalie Ryan very shortly after posted on Instagram. The DGPT is removing me from the OTB Open. No matter where they go, I will fight them every step of the way. If you thought I was fighting hard before, just wait. They're going to burn with me. And I didn't love this post. It was very hateful language. I think that's a good way to describe it. And I think a lot of people didn't like the language that was being used. There was much classier and much better ways that Natalie Ryan could have gone across sharing her feelings in regards to being removed from the OTB Open. So then this post was very shortly after removed. There was a follow-up post that was slightly more tasteful, but didn't show any remorse for the original post. So that was just the knee-jerk reaction to getting removed from the OTB Open after the first round. And since then, Natalie Ryan has been unable to compete, but has been playing in A-tier tournaments and other events. And now we fast forward to June 28th, so literally yesterday. The Disc Golf Pro Tour has received notice of a temporary restraining order filed in Minnesota State Court on behalf of Natalie Ryan. This motion filed against the PDGA and the DGPT has now been granted by the court and will allow her to compete in the FPO division at the Preserve Championships. The Disc Golf Pro Tour agrees with the decision, but will comply with the order, and the event will continue as planned. The Disc Golf Pro Tour remains committed to creating a safe and harassment-free environment, both on-site and online, for all competitors, and then a link to the webpage. So the Disc Golf Pro Tour and the PDGA have openly said they're against this decision, but basically as it stands, there's nothing they can do about it. But I'm really curious to see if Natalie Ryan gets removed from the tournament as the situation continues to develop, or if Natalie Ryan's going to be able to play all the way to the end. And if Natalie Ryan is able to compete all the way to the end and doesn't win, we're not going to hear that much about it. But if Natalie Ryan competes all the way to the end and wins, I think there's going to be a massive uproar, especially from the FPO players. All the players in the FPO division had this big sort of speech in regards to the decision, and we'll go over that in just a second. But I did not like this post from Natalie Ryan either. Just in comparison to these old posts here, we're seeing a very different tune from Natalie. When you set your heart alight, there is nothing you cannot do. Hate will always lose. See you all at the Preserve. And I just don't like this statement because Natalie Ryan has a reputation for using hateful language, saying they are going to burn with me when things don't go your way. And then when things do go your way, hate will always lose, when Natalie Ryan was originally, using hateful comments to prove her point. And then now we have a lot of the FPO players kind of led by, it seems like, Katrina Allen. We'll listen to what they had to say.
Those of us gathered here who compete in the Female Pro Open Division of the Disc Golf Pro Tour first want to say that we appreciate and are thankful for the efforts of the Disc Golf Pro Tour and the PDGA to uphold their non-discriminatory eligibility rule that simply seeks to protect fair competition in the FPO division. Of the Disc Golf Pro Tour and in the highest level elite PDGA events. It is a fact of biology and sports physiology that being born with male biology, going through male puberty, and experiencing male levels of testosterone conveys enormous performance advantages. Elite sport, for those of us born biological females, cannot exist without eligibility standards that consider these basic biological facts. We want to thank the Disc Golf Pro Tour and the PDGA for adopting an eligibility rule that merely recognizes basic biology and physiology. We are deeply disappointed by yesterday's court ruling by Minnesota State Court Judge Carrie Willis that completely ignored and did not even discuss the sports exception of the Minnesota Human Rights Act and case law precedent from the Minnesota Supreme Court that allows businesses to make decisions considering basic biological facts such as being born male or female. The interpretation of the Minnesota Human Rights Act being advocated by Ryan's legal counsel, if adopted in Minnesota, will destroy the use of such basic biological facts to protect fair competition for those born without the advantages of male biology and exposure to years to male levels of testosterone. This is why the case is important not just for disc golfers, but for every young girl who aspires to be able to compete at an elite level in her sport. The position being advanced by Natalie Ryan and by Natalie Ryan's attorneys will destroy the dreams of thousands of young girls in this country to ultimately be successful in reaching the highest level of elite women's sport. It will require girls to compete at almost every level in sport with those who have experienced the performance-enhancing advantages of male puberty and male levels of testosterone. Judge Willis will have a future opportunity to fully consider the merits of the policy of the Disc Golf Pro Tour and the PDGA, and we hope that at the time the court will recognize the neutral, non-discriminatory nature of the tour's eligibility rule and its resilience on basic biology and physiological facts to protect fair competition. We seek only to ensure that our rights to fair competition are upheld. To do so, the objective, neutral, and scientific rules adopted by the Disc Golf Pro Tour and the PDGA protect fair competition and should be upheld. Regard the effort to change the rule of women's sports to overlook the advantages conferred by male levels of testosterone and male puberty to be selfish, sad, and anti-science. To Natalie Ryan, we respect your desire to live as you choose. We affirm your personhood, but we also recognize you have inherent performance advantages conferred through experiencing male puberty that give you an enormous and unfair advantage with competing in the female protected division. Your refusal to recognize basic biological facts is not commendable. It is rather discriminatory towards those of us who do not have your biological advantages. Your reliance on biological advantages that us of the born with female biology can never replicate and will destroy a level playing field in the 2023 Preserve Championship. The advantages you hold through physiology over every woman in the field, and even greater than those that would be conferred through doping. This clearly demonstrates that anything you may achieve in the upcoming tournament will not have been won fair. Some have asked whether there will be a boycott of the 2023 championship, and we just want to say that, we are just really standing here for fair competition, and we just ask the disc golf community to hear our voices, hear our statements, and please listen with, open hearts, open minds, and just know that the group standing here, we love disc golf. And we just want fair competition, and that's really all this is about. I'm going to turn it over to Sarah and let her speak, and then we're going to open it up to the rest of the female athletes.
All right, so I am going to link that post in the description below if you want to listen to the entire speech. But we could be looking at a really bizarre situation where this continues to develop. Let's say Natalie Ryan plays the Preserve all the way to the finish and wins, and then starts being able to play in the FPO division on the Pro Tour again and continues to win. I would not be surprised to see the rest of the field go on strike until something changes. So we could be looking at a really volatile situation led by Katrina Allen and several other FPO players sort of leading the charge. It's really interesting to see how this thing continues to develop and unfold over time, and I'm really curious to see how it inevitably pans out. Anyway, you guys are watching Iceberg TV. Thank you so much for watching my channel, and take care.